All right, today we're going to pop the hood on a really sophisticated two-sided AI platform. We're going to get past all the hype and actually look at the engineering, what it takes to make a system like this really work. Okay, let's dive in.
The entire platform is built around this one core idea. It's a pretty powerful statement, and it tells you right away, this isn't just another chatbot. This is a system that's designed to help you ask better questions so you can get to answers that actually matter for big decisions.
So the vision here is to build a marketplace, but not just for simple question and answer bots. We're talking about AI assists that can help you navigate really complex, real-world choices. Things like picking a mortgage or an energy plan or insurance, stuff where the stakes are actually pretty high.
So, what's the real difference? Well, a standard chatbot is pretty reactive, right? You ask a question, it gives you an answer. But a decision-focused AI assist, that's proactive. It tries to figure out what you really want, your intent. It knows when to pull in specialized tools like a data cruncher or a search engine, and it actively guides you step by step to a final decision.
Now, building something this ambitious, it doesn't just happen. The engineering team had to wrestle with three massive foundational challenges right from the get-go. So let's break down what those were.
First up, the data problem. An AI is only as good as the information it's fed. If your AI is just kind of scraping whatever it can find on the web, its advice could be totally useless, or even worse, flat out harmful. So the first big question is, how do you make sure its foundation is built on solid, trustworthy data?
The second challenge, this is one we all think about, privacy. Users are putting incredibly sensitive info into these systems. We're talking financial data, personal details. So how on earth do you build a platform that can use that data to help people while also guaranteeing that it stays 100% private and secure?
And third, you've got the classic marketplace dilemma. If you want to attract the best creators to build on your platform, you've got to give them freedom and power. But at the same time, you need to maintain control to ensure quality and security. It's a really tricky balancing act. How do you nail it?
All right, so those are the big, hairy problems. Now we get to the fun part, the really clever engineering solutions the team came up with to solve them.
So, to fix that data trust issue, they built what's called a pluggable architecture. Basically, instead of scraping the web, they connect directly to official, verified data sources. And what's wild is how easy they made it. Adding a totally new, trusted source of data is this simple three-step process that takes about 5 minutes. That's incredibly efficient, and it means all the data is totally verifiable.
Now for privacy, the solution is deep, starting with something called application-level encryption. The best way to think about it is like this. You're sealing your personal letter in a super secure, tamper-proof envelope before you even give it to the mail carrier. The platform does the exact same thing with your data. It scrambles it before it even touches the database.
And this table just perfectly illustrates the result of that design. It shows you exactly what a platform administrator can and cannot do. Yeah, sure, they can look at high-level analytics, but can they read your emails? Nope. View the files you upload? Absolutely not. Can they see the actual content of your conversations? No way. The system is literally built so that even the people who run it can't see your private data.
And to solve that creator empowerment puzzle, they came up with a feature called Bring Your Own Key, or BYOK. This is pretty cool. It lets creators plug their own API keys for things like OpenAI or Google Search right into their AI assists. The bottom line is, creators get full control of their costs, they get access to better services, and the platform gets to maintain a really secure and flexible ecosystem for everyone.
And it's not just about these big, grand architectural moves. The team's attention to detail is just wow. For example, they managed to optimize their core serverless functions, shrinking the package size from a kinda chunky 371 megabytes all the way down to a super lean 55. That's a huge difference that translates to faster performance and lower costs.
Okay, so we've seen all these individual solutions, but how do they all click together into a real, live, production-ready system? Like, how do you actually get something this complex up and running?
Yeah, this is not a simple script you just run. A first-time deployment is this whole multi-step process that takes about an hour. It sets up everything, the security, the databases, the AI runtimes, the global front end, and it all wraps up with a massive 30-point checklist to make sure every single piece is working perfectly. This just screams production grade.
But here's the thing about building really great software. It's a journey, not a destination. This platform isn't some finished product. It's a living, breathing, constantly evolving ecosystem.
This chart gives us a really honest snapshot of where things are today. You can see that the core stuff, like the tool runner and the billing systems, are pretty much there. But other areas, like that bring your own key feature we just talked about, and some of the more advanced analytics, well, they're still in their early days. It's clear there's a plan.
And here is that plan. The product roadmap is all about taking this from a powerful technical platform to a true, mature marketplace. We're talking about adding foundational stuff first, like conversation history, then building layers of trust with things like version control and reviews, and finally, getting ready to scale with tools like a recommendation engine and A/B testing for the creators.
Which kind of brings us to this one final big question. As AI evolves from simple tools into these huge marketplaces that can influence our most important life decisions, the engineering choices made around trust, privacy, and reliability become everything. The real question isn't just what can these platforms do, but how are they built and who are we going to trust?